Hi guys! Welcome back to TheSirenSayz, my commentary channel where I speak about movies, TVs, and books, and what I like and sometimes do not like in that frame of media. So, I wanted to put out a disclaimer again. If you want a psychological look at characters, or if you want a essay paper on how Danny's insecurity is linked to the strong black woman trope, this is not the channel for you. I may bring up things every now and then because that's what the show wants. It wants for you to see the psychology in the characters and maybe even to link it to some real world stuff. But I'm not the type of channel that's going to focus on the topics it's trying to bring up. I'm trying to focus on the characters. Here are a list of channels you can watch if that is what you prefer. Shane Spear, Unpoetic Justice, Khadija Mumbo. Sometimes you can watch stuff like Modern Girls, because sometimes she does more. These are people who will sometimes talk about shows, but mainly do political essay type, teach you, read some articles content, okay? Also, second half of the disclaimer, this is for fun. You can disagree with me and put it down in the comments and be respectful. I really do appreciate the last comment section because you guys were really respectful and I agreed with majority of what you guys said. Some of you guys were able to tell me what I forgot because it's been a while. So some of you guys were able to tell me some of the stuff I was missing, and you also gave your own opinions, agree or disagree, and I really love that. Thank you guys so much. I would like to build a little community here. We can just talk about TV shows and shoot the shit, you know what I'm saying? So thank you guys very much. Okay, disclaimer over. Let's talk about some of the comments. I did not know. This is before character by character, so don't worry, this will be short. I didn't know that Aaron wasn't the father of those children, so that's good to know. Barring what I just saw in these last 2 episodes, that's great to know. It clears him. Someone just said recently in the last hour that apparently Annie told Danny that she was just using him so that she can get partner. Look, I am going to be discussing what's happening with my thoughts on Andy, and I'm going to say it respectfully, but let me just say I really don't care that it may have been exposition earlier on that she's just using him, because obviously that's what they're trying to say now. They're really trying to push that Andy is smarter than we think she is and that she's playing this long game. What I am saying is that the acting isn't good enough to show that. When she's done banging Gary, I need to see her with a disgusted look on her face when he goes into the bathroom. I need to see her be like, have her sigh. Something to cue to us that she's not feeling him no more. That's what I need. And yes, there are little things that shows that she is just trying to make sure he is happy so that she can get where she needs to get her job. But what I'm saying is the way that the acting is being presented, it is also showing that she could still have feelings for him. And here's why I'm saying that, right? In the scene where they are trying to talk to Danny, when Danny brings him up, she's like, let's not talk about that. She's around her friends. Okay, fine. When she's at work, she has to pretend that she's into Gary. Fine. Why is she pretending that she's still protecting him in front of her friends? Explain that to me down below. I'm sorry if I sound upset, but it's just kind of annoying because it's almost like I'm being gaslit into thinking that Andy has sense, and she really doesn't, guys. Come on now. If you like Andy, fine. Alright? But we all know that there are certain things for me personally that Andy just needs to do. Alright, next one, Karen. I don't like Karen. I'm gonna say this right now. Karen has never been my favorite character. She and Andy are at the bottom for a long time, and Karen has just started to rise up the ranks. Just started. If you watched the video before the last one I made, I went on a whole rant about how Karen was being pathetic. So to everybody who was trying to say that Karen was at fault, what I said in my last video is that I just started to side with her, and that I just started to see why she was being so pathetic and crazy. I said that. Which means if you watch the other video, you could see that I didn't understand why she was being so pathetic. But you cannot say that it's not weird that Zach has this giant vendetta against Aaron. And I know that Aaron now has some shady stuff that's coming out, but please let us not pretend that Zach is just that nigga and he knew there was something wrong with Aaron, so he was just not liking him out of spite. No, he was jealous. He was jealous. Even though he has so much money and he's changing for the better, for some reason he's jealous? For what? What is Zach jealous of? I don't understand. So, I still think she was being pathetic 1000%. But even though they both tried to move on, Zach was still not helping in those episodes that I saw where he was just like angry at Aaron for no reason, when Aaron was being so respectful to him. So please, with the blaming Karen stuff, look, she's not my favorite. Blame her all you want. But when it comes to the Andy thing, I still think that Andy, even unconsciously, gives more respect to Fatima. And I'm not saying that she shouldn't. I'm just saying that if I was friends with Andy and best friends, I wouldn't appreciate that. Because Fatima was technically, in Karen's mind, her competition. Yes, we as the audience know that Zach don't want her. And yes, Andy knows that Zach don't want her because he's seen the evidence. But Karen doesn't know that. And Karen is delusional. I think it's really interesting that even though all four of these sisters have been friends for so long, none of them really know how to get through to each other until they're broken down to their lowest. It's like, what kind of friends are you, bro? Whatever. But those are just my disclaimers about some of the comments I saw. I was just kind of like, guys, come on now. Come on now. Also, somebody let me know what that girl who Fatima's using, her name, Tamara. Thank you so much for that, guys. And I just want to say, I do respect the comment, but please, you can like Andy if you want to. I don't like Andy. I don't think she's smart. And I don't like her acting in this. So it's annoying to see her be like, oh, I'm just using Gary, when the acting is not showing that. Exposition 5-6 episodes ago is not enough for me to remember that she's using Gary. It's just not enough. I'm sorry. I just had to say that. But in any case, let's move on to character by character. Well, since I was going on and on about her just now, let's just get into Andy immediately. I'm gonna say with these last two episodes, I was in a dour mood because I just wasn't feeling it anymore. And this last episode did not help. So I just saw the last two episodes. So since it's the finale of the season, I'm just in a bad mood because everybody that I like is just going through it, and they have essentially become unlikable. So in that way, it kind of makes the show annoying. I'm getting way more annoyed now, and I'm just getting confused. Let's get into Andy so we can just get it over with. So nothing really happens with Andy. You're just seeing the transitional stuff between Andy, Hayden, and Gary. So I guess I can bring up Hayden. I'm a little confused. I didn't think Hayden was brilliant, but I thought he would have been smart enough to lie to her, lie to Tamara, and say that he's gonna stop working with her, but then work with her in secret. That way he can get his cake and eat it too. I didn't think he would have actually dropped Zach's baby mama. That was disappointing moment for me. Not that I need everybody who's up against them to be this brilliant mastermind, but I just thought it would have been bare minimum Hayden to double cross her. Is he actually falling for her? He is so dumb, bro. And then Tyler Perry adds these moments supposed to make us scared, when Hayden is talking with Gary and Gary's did you vet her? Do you want me to vet her for you? And you're as a part of the audience, you're oh my god, no, if Gary vets her, the jig is up. And now he gonna come for Zach 1,000-fold, but then he's just nah, just trust me. And he's okay. So now it's just, there was a lot of build up and then diffusion in these last two episodes, which was really annoying. Ugh. anyways, getting to Gary, Robin didn't show up. I guess that means that he's just going to show up later and it'll be this big thing, whether he doesn't have the money or he has the money and he has a big Yahtzee moment. We will see. So Gary goes to gloat to Hayden about it. They have a little hip hip hooray about it. Then he goes to Andy. Andy tries to make it clear that she's setting a boundary similarly to the one that failed to be set with Karen and Fatima. It almost seems like she's not learning her lesson, huh? Can't stand Andy. Anyways, so she's like, surprised that he's willing to show this much PDA towards her at work, which is like, of course he is. He wants to stake a claim on you. He wants to stake a claim on you. If you're this smart, right? And let me just get on this now, because people will be like, oh, dude. If she's this smart, I need to see it. I don't want it in like the 3rd episode of season 6, right? Because they might have a season 6 and 3 episodes in, then we see that Andy had this ace up her sleeve and then Gary's going to jail. That's annoying. You can't show a character to be a little bit incompetent and then give them brains out of nowhere. That's faulty writing, guys. Just because they're deciding to spoon feed us with some exposition doesn't mean that the acting doesn't have to explain it. What would be so hard in all those annoying moments of seeing them together in her apartment when he goes for the shower? Because he's always going in that shower. So many moments for that actress to just show a little bit of disgust or roll her eyes or be like, I got you, Gary. Something that reminds us that she's not really in this, that she doesn't still like him, that she's not falling for him again. I don't think you guys understood me in the last video, right? I'm not saying that she was in love with him when she decided to convince him to come back to her house that first time after he decided he was going to sue her. What I was saying is that I think while she was trying to play him, because I remembered that the only reason she tried to bring him back to her place is so that she could sexually distract him. I know that. But what I'm saying is, while she has been doing the distraction over so many days, weeks, even I'm sure it's been over a month at this point. While she has been doing this, the way that the actress is acting this, the way that KJ Smith is acting this, it makes it look like she's falling for her own plan. But then every now and then she remembers what the plan is and she distances herself away from Gary a little bit. So like her P curved to his D, but every now and then once work becomes involved and she remembers why she's doing this, she puts a little bit of distance between them. But all that's doing is intriguing and enticing him because he's stupid. Guys, please stop putting Andy on this pedestal. What Tyler is doing is trying to give her the intelligence that she should have had since season 2, but then putting it back with all of the stuff that she should have grown out of since season 4. That is what's happening here. I want Andy to do better. And like I said, I ship her and Robin, but she don't gotta be with nobody. But this is not the growth that I care to see. Okay, she wants to go for partner. Believable, right? Because she's somewhat ambitious. But the acting is not showing that. So telling me that there was exposition 7 episodes ago doesn't change my opinion on her. It doesn't. It just justifies that the acting is so bad that I almost forgot that there was exposition about. Because that's what happened. The acting was so bad that I forgot that she said from her mouth that it's because she wants to get partner that she's using him. I forgot that. I just figured she was using him because she didn't want to get sued and lose her place. So guys, when it comes to Andy, she is just annoying. She's always been annoying to me. I've always been very confused, and not the entire time, right? When Gary was being horrid in the first 2 seasons, I wasn't fully blaming Andy. I was like, geez, Andy, please just get over this. But by season 4, I'm like, this is a pattern of behavior. This is a pattern of behavior. That is why, even though I wanted her to keep the house, I was okay with her not keeping, the condo. Because I'm like, well, this man abused you. So if you want to cut him off cold turkey, I get it. I get it. You don't need to keep anything of his. Let him go. Let him go. Ugh. Andy is fine, but I'm not. Y'all can talk about her down in the comments, but you're not going to change my mind. Okay, you're really not going to change my mind. None of in these 2 episodes have changed my mind about Andy. Pot calling the kettle black. But let's talk about that. Let's talk about the sister circle. Let's talk about Danny. Oh my god, I've already seen people talking about the end of Destin, my favorite ship. When I saw them interact and she told him that he better not bring Mindy over here, what little energy I had for this show, what little bit of heart and warmth that was in me died. I was like, oh my god, Tyler, how are they gonna come back from this? Because here's the thing, right? What I liked was that when she was okay with Preston, she was the one who wasn't going through any abuse. She was the voice of reason. She had the non-toxic relationship. And it was a stark contrast from how the girls saw her. And I really appreciate that, because Danny is was my favorite character. And so I really appreciated that even though in the first 2 seasons they really looked down on her and disrespected her, that Tyler gave her the best guy, gave her the best relationship, and sort of like put her on top of the pecking order, you know, in terms of at least the viewership, you know. So when he just started to throw that all away, I was just kind of like, okay, I hope this is all leading to somewhere. And as I said before, the fabled lost voice note that I was going to put out, I apologize because I thought I saw the vision. I was wrong. You're not getting any apologies from me, Tyrone Perry. But this time, I don't know how he would ever bring this back. Preston is still holding Mindy over Danny's head, even allowing her to be at the same place, the same terminal. It's just, I really can't with Preston in the episode before the last one. I really can't. It makes me really uncomfortable, like super uncomfortable, because I don't like seeing them like that. And it's like the actor for him is getting less sincere. Someone put down below, she said she's my island sister, so what up, girl? Wagwan. She said that possibly the actresses don't agree with their characters a little bit, and that's why the acting can seem so off. Well, obviously Trinity, which is the name of the person who plays Preston, he not agreeing with Preston because now his acting is off. And it's so difficult. It's so hard for me because Preston was my favorite. He was best boy. He was it. And I understood Danny's qualms in the beginning. You know, the race difference. Then they had nothing in common apart from just physical attraction. In terms of things to talk about. And I because I'm a proponent of being with somebody who you get along with and you can talk to, I understood it. But, you know, it's whatever. There's a YouTube channel called Queen of Kings. She's exactly like Danny and Preston. She's a dark-skinned woman, and she's with this man who is like a Viking, and he's a country boy and stuff, and they don't really have that much in common, but they're married and they have a kid, and she has 2 kids, and they make it work. So when I started watching it, I was like, you know what? Preston and Danny can make it work. They can. I just don't know how Tyler is going to bring them back together, or if he is retiring Destin and is going to introduce another love interest. Honestly, I don't really want to see Danny with anybody else. It would have to be very, very strategic and specific for him to bring in a new guy and for me to like it. That's just it is what it is. I'm sorry. So let's just go into the confrontation. So as you all know, the girls showed up at Danny's house to bulldoze her with information. And let me just say, at first, I was okay with it. I was okay with everything they had to say. Even though it's a little hypocritical, because look at everything they've been through, it still doesn't mean that they were wrong. Let's just, you know, make that distinction. Wrong messenger, right message. Who does she want to tell her this? Who does she know that's blameless? Jesus said, if thou art without blame, cast the first stone. Who does she know who would be able to cast the first stone? Nobody. Everybody she knows that we know of got dirt. So when she's threatening to like expose the relationships, I'm like, do you know something we don't know? Because we know everything that you know, and it still don't change a thing. But I thought was very interesting was when they would bring up how great Preston was, she would kind of look at them like, you don't know everything. And like I kept saying, before the whole I'm gonna marry Mindy if you don't say yes thing came up, I'm on Preston's side 99% of the time. Like, I don't care what the argument is. Danny, you wrong. Like, or Danny, you're thinking about this too hard. Right? 99. I mean, there's a few things that Danny was right about, but they weren't. She would blow those things out of proportion. When Sabrina said that Preston was damn near perfect, and she looked at her like, wow. It's like, did she lie? She didn't lie. Come on now. Isn't Sabrina the one that you like out of the group, Danny? Let me stop. She likes all of them. But you know Sabrina is like her little, you know, they kind of divide themselves up in the group. Sabrina is her little party. We know this. So why are you acting like Sabrina saying he was damn near perfect doesn't mean anything? You keep trying to use the black thing with your friends when it comes to Preston. They heard everything. You told them everything that he did, and they still like him. Your friends don't like Gary, so you bring up Gary like that, like they all okay with Gary. Nobody likes Gary but Andy. Nobody. Even Fatima still wants to put out a hit on him. So when they say Preston is a good guy and they don't even have anything negative to say, that means you could possibly go to therapy with him and work it out, Daniela. Why did you walk out on them? That was so childish. I was here for her calling them out because I feel like they also need to sit down and look at all of their relationships and what they went through and the stupidity that they allowed themselves to be involved in. Definitely here for that. But Danny, that does not mean that they're wrong about you though. And what happened in college? Did they insinuate that she got a choo-choo ran on her? Choo-choo soul with Genevieve? Let me stop. That's not funny at all. But I didn't think it was funny either. I was confused. I was like, are they insinuating that somebody ran a train? Has she been abused before while she was trying to do the hot girl summer? And she's just repeating the same cycle? Tyler, because here's the thing, right? Pour as much idiotic drama as you want. But is there a point? What is the point? When Andy is doing all of this, and we don't even get to see that she's playing him until we get some more exposition, because the actress is not going to show that she's playing him fully unless she's worried that Robin's going to think she was involved. Danny's going through all of this turmoil. What is the end goal? Is this going to be so much soap opera that the end goal is just nothing? Like with Tyler's other show, For Better or Worse, spoiler alert, Angela and Marcus don't end up together. So as funny as that show was, and that show is dramatic and funny, and I never had to worry about the acting because the acting was actually pretty good, and there was actually some really good stuff that was brought up there. But in the end, none of it mattered. None of the arcs, the strides, the friendships, none of that mattered. Because in the end, the two people that we came here to see the most were not together. Tyler, when it comes to Sistas, what is the end goal? Are we going to have a happy ending with this? Even if it takes 10 seasons, I'm patient. But this show is not giving me light at the end of the tunnel. It's giving me calm before another hurricane. Not even a storm, hurricane. And I'm starting to get tired of it. The lost voice note, right, that I was going to put out, I finally started to see that there may have been a light at the end of the tunnel. And I was excited about that. I was like, oh, okay. Maybe if I just be patient, everyone will sort themselves out and we'll get some decent looking arcs with some drama. But I don't think that's what he's trying to do. I hope I'm wrong. Danny ran out. Preston called her to get his clothes once again. It's not even the second time he's done this. So they're on terrible ice. I know some people think they're done. I know Tyler, he might just bring that nigga back for no good reason, but it is what it is. The girls are there waiting on her. She threatened them, like, you better not be here when I get back. Danny, if you don't calm it down. You driving. Where you going, reckless? Where you going, ma'am? And just so you guys know, the episode that I got to see did not have the preview. So if there was a preview, I did not see it. Please do not spoil the preview down below. Oh God. Oh, we're already 2 down. Let's get into Sabrina real quick. So Sabrina finally sat Maurice down and just told him the facts. Nothing but the facts. That there are people out there that care about him and he needs to stop with all this attitude because it's ridiculous. And he needs to put some respect on Calvin's name. I agree with that. So he decided to apologize. Then he decided to go out there and confront Q because that makes sense. I'm just worried that whatever happened with the gun is going to jeopardize bail, and Obiwe, I think is his name, will, like, he's royalty, but you don't know what happens when you mess up with royalty. I don't want Sabrina to get in trouble because he couldn't just sit down. What I wish that he would have done was try to, like, formulate a plan. Wait until the hearing, right? So that way Obiwe can get his money back. Then you go after Q, right? When niggas don't have millions, invested in you. Goodness. Maurice was being terrible, but then, Sabrina sat him down, and so now he's behaving better. He is. So yeah. Calvin is doing better. Apparently some of y'all like her and Calvin together. Do I need to pull up the receipts of Calvin just not being a good person? Of course, technically she has more chemistry with Calvin. He's been here longer than Obiwe. Obiwe is what I'm calling the African guy. If that's not his name, I very much apologize. But the Nigerian prince. Like, am I tripping? Like, I'm sorry. No, I'm not tripping. Y'all can like Calvin. That's fine. Like I said, Tyler Perry. Please watch the video before the last one. It really encapsulates how much I dislike what Tyler Perry has been doing with majority of the men in this show that were bad. So I spoke about what he's trying to do with Gary and Calvin, which is that he's trying to redeem them after making them do some pretty irredeemable stuff. And I don't understand why. I don't get it. No, they're not perfect. But it's almost like he's trying to make us forget the incredibly weird stuff he made them do. And it's like, oh, who cares about that? Who cares about that? But yeah, she wants to give Obiwe a shot. But Calvin wants to have the door left open. It is what it is. Sabrina is okay. Sabrina is standing up for herself. Sabrina is trying to be smart about this. We like Sabrina. So, she is still where she usually is. She is okay. Let's just get into Karen. Okay. I still don't like it. Apparently, the girl, Karen and Aaron, and now Jennifer. So, Jennifer is apparently his girlfriend or his ex or whatever. He apparently, by her own admission, ran the same "you're the only girl I ever really wanted" game on her, and she's warning Karen. And so now Karen's looking into it. She called her John and started speaking a lot of Spanish. So that means that Aaron could be John, or he gave her a fake name. He's claiming that she's a stalker, but if she was a stalker, why is she calling you John? Tyler Perry is just ruining everything, and I'm just sick of it. Like, you can't have all the relationships suck except Zatima. I'm one of the few people that don't really care about Zatima. I don't want them to break up. I think they're cute. I think their inception was cute, but I don't like them together enough to watch the show because of them. One of the reasons why I liked Destin and I like Aaron and Karen is because those relationships were interesting enough and They were my types of relationships, ones that I wanted to see. So they were types of relationships that when the show got this bad, I could rely on either one of those two relationships to get me through a particularly bad episode. Zatima is not getting me through these episodes. They're not. They're really not. They're really not. Like, their hijinks are cool, right? But like, even the little hijinks with like Fatima tricking Zach with that baby. Let me not get on that. But Tyler, I don't like it. I don't like it. Why does Aaron have to have this as an issue now? I'm gonna make a video about Aaron later, and some other people that I want to talk about separately. But I don't like it. I don't think it's necessary, and it's just annoying that once Karen is finally over Zach, finally she puts down that pathetic shawl she had over herself for months. Now Aaron has to have problems hopping out the woodwork, and everybody's like, see, I knew he was too perfect. Perfect where? Perfect where? His wife unalived herself at the salon. What part of that said he was playing perfect to you? To even the people who were saying, oh, Aaron was playing too perfect. Where? I was seeing red flags with him. But I guess because those red flags could have been solved with therapy, it's not good enough for Tyler. Like, oh, forget issues that people can work through. Let's just give him a double life. I don't care. I'm starting not to care. And when I start not to care, then I don't make videos. But it's whatever. Karen is my favorite character right now. Danny has been demoted, and Karen has not risen to the top. That's why I had to defend Karen a little bit at the beginning. She is pathetic, but she's getting over it, and I'm siding with Karen. And yes, I still blame Andy for what happened at the restaurant. Like, you can say that it wasn't her fault and Zach was to blame. Of course Zach is to blame. Zach is a weirdo. Why was Zach that upset? Why was Zach that upset at Aaron? I need an explanation for that, because nobody's explaining that to me. They're just saying that he was wrong for that. Yes, he was wrong for that. And I'm never going to blame Fatima for anything that happens with Karen. Fatima has been nothing but respectful, and she minded her business. So Fatima is blameless. But what I'm saying is, everything that happened because of the restaurant, I'm on Karen's side. Everything before that, not on Karen's side necessarily. But once she gave him a hug, accepted the custody agreement and everything. Well, she doesn't accept it now because she's mad at Aaron. But once she went through that period of her life, I'm on her side. And that is just it. If you want to say that it's not Andy's fault because, you know, they're grown women, look at the way Tyler Perry is writing this. All of these women are acting like 5-year-olds for our entertainment. That means that we are allowed to choose sides and blame people. Let's not try and be realistic now. Because if we were really trying to be realistic, Gary would be in prison for choking out Andy. Okay. Now, in any case, what else did I need to talk about? Fatima and Zach, Tamara is working her magic on Hayden. That entire scene was hilarious. Because she was just talking about the way you put it on me. I just don't want any other woman to have that. I was laughing because it was one of the only moments I enjoyed in the show. Because you could just tell he's been just waiting to have a pretty woman say that to him his entire life, brother. Like, he was just waiting for somebody to say that to him. Yazine? He's like, yeah, man, we had talk about. In any case, he was really happy about that. I was laughing. I still don't trust Tamara. I'm side-eyeing her. I'm glad that she is keeping up her part of the bargain. But now that she's done it, right? Like, she got Zach's baby mother to get dropped. And now Zach's baby mother is agreeing to the terms. What is Tamara going to do now? You know, because you know that we love the drama. I even like drama anymore at this point. At this point, I am not watching the show because I like it anymore. I'm literally watching the show just for the drama and just to complain about the stupidity that is going on, because there's nothing really for me to enjoy. Like I said, Zatima is not a highlight for me like it is for everybody else. I don't mind them, but they're not what I live for. So it's fine, it's okay. We'll see if there are any minor characters. Oh, they're giving the receptionist a lot more talking time. I don't know if something's going to happen with her and she's going to be inducted into the hall of the ensemble cast, so good for her. They keep bringing up Paris, so maybe he's gonna make a comeback. Interesting. Don't know what happened with Robin. He disappeared, but we all know he's gonna have a comeback. He's gonna shock Gary, or he's gonna come back defeated and say that he just let it go and moved back to London, but came back to see Andy. Anything could happen there, but I am waiting not to be surprised. I'm expecting the unexpected when it comes to Robin's character. I know something gonna happen with the Madame, Fatima's cousin, so we're waiting for that. Pam is also getting more screen time, and Karen is trusting her more, so I appreciate that because I like Pam and her detective skills. Hilarious. We know she's going to be right in the middle of whatever's going to happen with Karen and Aaron, so that will be interesting. Thoughts for the next season? I have no thoughts. Tyler, do whatever you want at this point. I no longer care. I no longer have dreams and aspirations for these characters, because you obviously don't. You just want to throw trauma upon trauma upon trauma, and then gaslight the audience, and then pretend that characters have brains, and then remove the brains that they have, and expect us to remember that they're supposed to have brains. And then you want to put relationships together that don't make any sense and break up the ones that do make sense. And then you want to put abusers like Gary up on a pedestal, and you just want to do whatever you feel like. And I'm just going to be along for the ride, the same way I watch The Oval and I don't have any expectations. I'm just watching it because it's shit crazy. That's what I'm gonna have to do with Sistas now, which is disappointing because I did put Sistas on a pedestal. Not a pedestal like it was a good show, but a pedestal like of the trash that Tyler is producing. This was the highest grade of it, and it still kind of is, but it's falling down. London Bridge is falling down. However, you know, since Tyler got all this money, it's not like it's going to be cancelled anytime soon, so I will be here for season 6. I'm intrigued enough to see what happens. I want to see how badly Maurice messed up. Oh, I didn't talk about Q because I don't care. I hate Q. I hate him with every fiber of my being. I wouldn't mind if Maurice accidentally killed him, but I don't want him to, because I don't want Maurice to get in trouble with the Nigerian prince. So we'll see what happens there. Destin is dead, so my heart for this show is also dead. Also, Karen and Aaron is dead, so my backup heart is dying. Well, let me not say Karen and Aaron is dead. Karen and Aaron is on life support, so I'm on life support. This entire show is on life support for me, okay? In any case, I'll be making other videos about Sistas since the season is over. I'll just be going more in depth on characters. No, it will not be a psychological breakdown that will have a bunch of statistics about real world things and articles. Just gonna be talking about characters and how I feel about them. Watch out for those videos. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Please put more discourse in the comment section below. I want to hear what you guys think. Do you agree, disagree? What did you think of the show down below? Do you trust Tamara? Because I sure don't. Anyways, and whatever else you want to discuss, because I love talking to you guys. As you see, I respond to all of your messages, so please do talk down below so that we can have discourse. Goodbye, sisters. Susul.